My Little Pony, Season 9, Episode 9. Sweet and Smoky.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Smolder describes Garble as sweet. I guess it's all relative when it comes to dragons.
Yeah, it's funny when I saw Gargo and the other dragons, I thought to myself, "Oh God, he's the brother, isn't he?"
I didn't even need to see Garble. I knew who it was as soon as she was talking about her brother.
It's like,
Not because I find Garble sweet, but because it's cliche at this point.
well, it's that. Who would be the least likely, dragon you'd suspect of being sweet?
Crackle.
After Crackle, we all know Crackle's a tyrant, but
Oh God.
only Ember's keeping Crackle in check.
Roar.
Anyway, yeah, at this point, yeah, it's like, it's that feeling of, we're going to understand, they're going to humanize him, aren't they?
Yeah, that was so obvious. It was.
Like, we can't have a bully just be a bully. We have to humanize them.
Yeah,
So,
it is the last season, so gotta make everybody good.
yes, either destroy them or make them good. One of the two.
Yep.
That way, at the end, everything's nice and tidy, and they will rule. And Twilight can rule for 1,000 years until her apprentice, has to deal with all the problems cropping back up from when Twilight dealt with them.
Oh boy.
But if they tie everything up, there wouldn't be anything to crop up.
Well, they'll tie it up for now. I mean, Sombra was gone, but he came back. And who knows what T-Rex about, how long he'll be around. And, I mean, Cozy probably won't last that long unless she gets trapped in some time thing. But she'll probably be reformed. And Chrysalis will probably be reformed as well. At some point. Just because she's so dead set against it. It's like, Grogar, I'm not expecting to be reformed. But, like, Chrysalis, it's like, she is so dead set against it. It's like, yep, they're setting up that way when she does eventually reform, it's an even bigger boom.
Yeah.
Smolder wants to visit him to check up on her brother. But Twilight's a little worried about her missing class, which is understandable, but also going such a far distance on her own for some reason, which it seemed like in that episode with the tree, like, didn't she go all the way back to the Dragonlands and then back?
Yeah.
To get the permission slip by herself? I mean,
theoretically, yeah.
So, I mean, now you're worried about it? Besides, she's a dragon.
Yeah. Plot point.
There's not a lot of ponies that would be interested in bothering her. And those that would want to, probably aren't going to be very happy when Smolder burns them to a crisp.
Roasted pony.
Yeah, so, it's one thing for someone, like Yona, which once she gets into the frozen north, there's not a lot of creatures that can actually follow her, and once she gets to the Crystal Empire, and she can ride that by train, and then just start walking north, and nobody's gonna bother her because nobody's gonna want to follow her into that mess. You know, each of them has like, you know, it's like, yeah, they can either be ridden, they can either get there by train, or you know, they can fly, or you know, they can do something where they can get away from problems. But yeah, anyway, though flying isn't necessarily a guarantee. But
Yeah.
Fluttershy goes along to supervise, so that it's a lesson. She's actually learning something, but mostly to see the hatching season with all the cute little snoots cracking the eggs.
No.
Hatching season. Ah. Yeah, and then we get this interesting little exchange. Yeah, it's, you know, okay, I made a list of what cheers me up when I'm down, so if your brother's like me, he's gonna love it. What should you do first? The smile song, the sharing circle, or friendship bracelet weaving? It's like, I'm not sure those are the kind of things my brother's gonna be into. So it's like, yeah, Spike, the dragons don't. Friendship bracelets wouldn't last unless you made them out of something lava resistant.
Yeah.
Considering they you know,
They go bathing in lava.
yeah, they go bathing in lava. They live around lava. At some point or other, somebody will throw a lava ball at somebody and burn up your friendship bracelet because it's melted because it got hit by lava.
Yeah.
And so we get Fluttershy. Well, what would make your brother happy? Smolder, just having Spike and me accept him for who he is will make a huge difference. Dragons who appreciate his more sensitive side. And Spike, I got it. Show tunes. Oh, okay, Spike. Smolder, yeah, no, but good try. Good try. Yeah. You're going with what sensitive ponies do. I'm not sure what a sensitive dragon does, but sensitive ponies and sensitive dragons.
It's wear dresses.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was kind of.
How about a tea party?
Yeah, I thought that was, as a whole, kind of funny, given how both she and her brother both have this sort of side they kind of hide away because they're kind of embarrassed about it. You know, it's like, you know, this, you know, sweet side. They're like, you get, or sensitive, or, you know, not, you know, dragon tough sort of side. You know, Smolder likes her tea parties and fancy dress, and Garble likes his beat poetry. So, it's like, yeah, you're both just, yeah. That's probably why she understands it. So well. And Ember still hasn't quite got the, you know, main six sort of down in terms of names. Like, she's got Spike. She knows Spike. And she knows Smolder. But, like, probably. But, like, Fluttershy's like, nice to see you too. Which one are you again? The party one? Apple Dash. No, was that the country one? And a ship name gets slid in there as it is. And none of the eggs are hers. So
You're like, no.
No.
Like,
No.
Somebody's been busy.
She is the caretaker of the clutches, though. I suppose dragons have different enough characteristics to be able to pick them back out of the little divot they put them in. Like, you have a crater and you just put eggs into it, and then they hatch, and then you're just like, I guess the parents would be distinct enough that it would be obvious who's, you know, who's
Or
who.
it's not, or it's a community raising.
Well, that was
Like,
the thing though. She was talking about Garble being her brother, which means she knows who her parents are. And he was kicked out of the house when he started to molt because it stank. She's talking about Garble. Now he got kicked out of the house when he started to molt because he stank. And so, yeah, so there's some sort of nuclear family structure, but
It's probably like, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, and you're mine. Randomly choose ones.
yeah, and, it may be, the kind of, they can work it out. They know who put their eggs into that divot, and they sort of go, yeah, that one looks like me,
Yeah, so you look like your mother, or you look like me. You look like Uncle George for some reason.
Let's see. For some reason, the eggs refused to hatch, and her father was less than forthcoming about the hatching knowledge for some reason. One thing I do find interesting was when they're teasing Spike about the comfort blanket. They foreshadowed the ending by having the laugh fire burn the comfort blanket Spike made. They're specifically talking about laugh fire, da 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 da, and yeah, Garble's gang tease him mercilessly about his knitting despite Spike's protestations to its difficulty. It's like, no, this is super difficult. What are you? And Spike finds out Garble is Smolder's sensitive brother, and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get this exchange. Easy guys, I learned at Twilight School, ganging up on each other isn't half as cool as you think. With Clump saying, "Oh, Pony School made you soft." Smolder, want to try me and find out? Apparently, Smolder's a bit of a... she's got a bit of a reputation for being tough. Because even an elder, much bigger dragon is like, no thank you.
Life.
Probably, it may have also been because it was both, she might have a reputation, but knowing that if he started messing with Smolder, that's one thing Gargar wouldn't put up with.
Only Smolder call me Gar.
Where's the Gaga Binks? Where's
Oh,
the comic relief?
Oh, God.
now that needs to be drawn.
Oh, what have you done?
Make a note in the make a note in the chat so I'll remember it. Draw Gargar Binks.
Oh, you son. You son. So? That's not good job.
Oh, God. Please, no. Not to try.
You not like my Jaja Binks?
Well, now it's official. When we start doing script records again, his voice is going to be changed to Jar Jar.
Yes.
Oh, Misa very happy.
And Grogar's going to be Grover. Or Yoda.
They're basically almost the same voice.
I know.
It's the same guy who started the voice, so I think it was from Frank Oz, so they're not that different.
Yeah. And oh God. I think the weirdest voices for these characters.
And they're huge inside jokes, so it's like, what the heck is this? But Smolder assures Spike that Garble is squishy on the inside and is putting up a front. Turns out Garble was also moping around while Smolder was away. Garble is worried about sort of becoming too soft, and so he's pushing Spike away with more bullying to make himself look tougher and to not, let his guard down. To which we get foreshadowing of the finale of the episode again, when Garble's friend releases more lava, adding more foreshadowing. Releases more lava from the thing. Spike keeps suggesting not very dragon-like activities that Garble mocks. He is sensitive, he can't let his guard down in front of his friends, so you're going to hit a brick wall there, Spike. Fluttershy stops him from chucking lava at Spike, and her by extension, because she's standing next to him. She's surprisingly calm about lava being chucked in her general direction. I mean, be a mild annoyance for Spike. Spike would just be like, I'm a dragon. That was mildly annoying. It's a bit like being hit by a snowball. It's like, that was mildly annoying. But
or having to deal with Madrock for any length of time.
I love you too.
But mild annoyance for Spike, but it would have a more dire consequence for her.
Yeah, Fluttershy don't give no shit. She's Fluttershy.
Well, the stare even works on dragons to a certain extent, so, if she wanted to tell them stop it, they're not going to do anything.
She has not done the stare in a long time. I kind of miss it.
You kinky little freak.
Oh, yes. You know it.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, God.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
They switch off, and Fluttershy goes to see Garble, and Spike goes to see what he can do with the eggs. Spike immediately recognizes why the eggs are cold from seeing them release the lava before. Ember tears into them. They can't move them because the eggs are too fragile. Ember calls in all the dragons to produce the heat themselves. Meanwhile, Fluttershy catches Garble in the midst of some beat poetry. And we get this interesting exchange. Garble, I need to create, but if the other dragons ever found out I like this junk, they'd make fun of me forever. Fluttershy, is that why you pick on Spike, to make your friends think you're tough? Smolder, wait, you've been picking on Spike? Wait, Smolder, you seriously haven't noticed? Like, he does it constantly. I guess maybe she was...
though.
What? Yeah, she may have been looking away when he did it. And he may have done that on purpose so that she didn't realize. It's like, he wanted to pick on Spike, be tough, but he didn't want Smolder to see because he knows she'd give him an earful and maybe even expose that he does beat poetry for him being a jerk to Spike, who's trying to be really nice. And Garble says, only when you're not looking, but if I didn't pick on Spike, they just pick on me, and he's kind of a weakling. Fluttershy, I'll have you know Spike is stronger than you are any day. Yeah, right. That little cupcake-making, blanket-cuddling pony dragon? Give me a break. Fluttershy, first of all, there's nothing wrong with being a pony. Second, Spike isn't afraid to be who he is, no matter what you or any creature thinks. That's real strength, like some dragons I know. And this is where I kind of slipped in that line about slightly funny given Smolder's newfound penchant for tea parties and frilly dresses. It's, Anyway, Garble gets the derisive laughter and the fire thereof of the other dragons by performing his poetry for them. It warms the eggs sufficiently to get the eggs to hatch. And we get this last little bit. Smolder, you did it. You performed in front of other dragons, Billy laughs. It was super lame. What kind of weakling writes poetry? Ember, the hero of the Dragonlands. That's who. Yeah, Smolder. Yeah, Garble saved our eggs because he was strong enough to be who he is, whether you liked it or not. I grew up when it was okay to make fun of differences. My friends have taught me to celebrate them. Dragon's grunting. And from now on in my kingdom, that's exactly what we'll do. Now, if you don't mind, can you teach me how to write poetry like that? It's pretty cool. From Ember. Garble, yeah, sure, no problem. Billy, yeah, me too. And Clump, I want to learn. But, yep. And that's the end of my notes for that. You know, it's just sort of him willing to be laughed at, save the day, which, you know, took advantage of the dragon's mocking of sort of any kind of culture.
Yeah. So this is nothing really to do with the episode, but Spike himself. How do you think Spike got his transporting fire breath? Because it seems to only be a trait of his.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a, maybe it was a technique that, because of the way he was hatched with magic instead of heat.
Yeah.
So that may have imbued him with some magical abilities that normal dragons don't.
Yeah, I just always found it weird. It's like, that's an interesting breath.
Yeah, he's always had some weird things about him, and they've worked to kind of mitigate that, like showing that dragons don't start with wings, they grow into the wings. So that's sort of like, okay, that's why he never had wings. Okay,
Yeah.
he was just a juvenile. He was just young. He hadn't quite hit adolescence. Which hits dragon pretty freaking hard.
Yeah.
It's very quick, but it hits hard. Yeah, that was the only thing they never really explained where that came from. It may have been something, he was surrounded by some of the, most skilled unicorns, he had Celestia there and Twilight and all that, so maybe that was a spell that they cast on him, was to grant him the ability to, burn letters in a way of doing that, or it's just an
He's just a mystical fax machine, and let it drop it there.
Yeah. Well, that
it's like what's my purpose in life? You deliver mail. No,
Spike, you are my fax machine. What would I ever do without you? Oh, fly it over there yourself? Oh, like I have time for that.
Or teleport it. You've shown that you can teleport the entire main 6 crew all the way to Canterlot from Ponyville.
Yeah, but breathing fire and sending it that way is so much cooler. Although that does make me wonder, how does he get the letters? If he just breathes the fire to teleport it, the reply letters that come out of him, like, do they have a special, like, chute that they put it in or something? Or do they just, like, teleport it and it comes out of him? Or
maybe there are some answers to questions that should not be answered.
Yeah. Maybe the other dragons have never tried.
Heck it is.
It's like they don't exactly write.
I don't mean I mean, like, when Twilight sent her letters to Princess Celestia, we saw them just appear in thin air. But then that's the exit. Where's the entrance to send them back?
I think it may be part of just Celestia going. The magic might be tied to Celestia, Because that's the only place they seem to be able to send
No,
back
because
and
I
forth.
think I remember one time they came. He got a letter from her sister, Cadence.
Okay, maybe it's an alicorn thing, and Celestia taught Cadence. You know, it's that sort of thing. And they know how to... You know, they don't teach it to anybody because they don't want to spam Twilight with stuff. It's like, yeah,
Like-
Celestia should know and Cadence should know. That's fine.
For 20 bits a month, you too can be Princess of Friendship.
Or you can have access to the direct princess line. Cast a spell and your letter will arrive directly with the princess.
Why does that sound like an Iron Will thing?
Because it probably is.
Yeah. Oh. Alright. Well, are there any further things to address?
No, I'm good.
Doug?
No, I'm good.
Alright.